10 years after Superstorm Sandy, thousands of families are still not even back home. So what went wrong?
And is the state any better prepared for the next storm? News 12's Walt Kane has this Kane in Your Corner investigation.
10 years after Superstorm Sandy.
This temporary bracing wasn't here, this house wouldn't be here.
Robert Lukasiewicz is nowhere close to returning home.
People say, Sandy, that's still a thing? You know, and yeah, it's still a thing.
Robert was approved for a reconstruction grant, but his state-approved contractor walked off the job. He was later approved for a supplemental grant, but only if he spent $55,000 of his own funds. It was money he simply did not have. The experience has left him disillusioned.
10 years, it boggles my mind. And so many people, not just now, but in future events, they're going to be like thinking that they're going to get saved, and they're going to go through this labyrinth that's just going to kill their soul.
From the outside, Sharon Zappia's home looks nearly finished. Inside, there's a long way to go.
I feel like I've been through 2 storms. One was the storm itself, and then it's the storm of dealing with the bureaucratic red tape of trying to rebuild.
Sharon has spent over $70,000 of her own money. She was approved for a supplemental grant too, but says she hasn't been able to access those funds yet because basic things like gas lines were not included in the plan.
I've had I've lost count, somewhere between 7 and 9 project managers, somewhere between 7 and 10 housing advisors. Some of them never even entered the home.
Sharon and Robert are not alone. 10 years after Sandy, the state says more than 7,000 homeowners have used their grant money to get back home, and only 151, like Sharon, are still in progress. But those numbers don't include nearly 5,000 homeowners, like Robert, who had to drop out of the program, and nearly 2,000 face clawbacks. In Robert's case, the state wants money he says he paid his contractor, who never finished the job. For advocates, it's the story that just won't end.
Hey, Walt. I'm always glad to see you, but I'm sorry that we keep meeting on this occasion, which is to continue to talk about how many families are still struggling with Sandy recovery.
Amanda DeVecca-Rainier is with the New Jersey Organizing Project. She questions if the state will be any better prepared to deal with the next storm.
But people are still struggling with FEMA. They're still struggling with insurance. They're still struggling with the SBA. It's like 15 years after Katrina, 10 years after Sandy, we have to stop putting people through this.
For Robert, the experience is especially painful because this house has been in his family for 5 generations. The ordeal has now dragged on for so long, many of his older relatives have passed away, waiting and hoping for it to be rebuilt.
The property, I would have the sentimentality I do for this home. I mean, when I walk in the house, excuse me.
No, it's not. It's not. You have a lot of memories of this house. I understand that.
Just gotta breathe. Yeah. And I promised my family, I says, we're gonna get this done. And, you know, they departed this life, and we're still here, and I'm gonna get it done. Now, over the years, we've told you the story of many Sandy survivors. Some did make it home, but for some of them, it was a long, hard road. I'll have their story tomorrow. Do you know something I need to investigate? Call me at 732-738-KANE. Email kaneinyourcorner@news12.com, or find me on social media.